Hi, I'm Sarah Dessen. I'm the author of Just Listen and This Lullaby and Lock and Key. Most of my books are set in a fictional town called Lakeview, which is very much based on the town where I grew up, Chapel Hill, to where we are right now. This guy's gonna let me in. Thank you. You gotta love a man in a pickup truck. If you've ever been to Chapel Hill or you're familiar with it at all, a lot of times people say they can recognize certain landmarks in other places. So I definitely have stolen a lot of things from my own life and from the landmarks around here to create the little world where my books take place. There are several convenience stores in town where a lot of my characters go to a place called Quick Zip to buy their Zip drinks, Zip Colas and Zip Diet Colas. And we always used to go to a place called the Zip Mart, where we always would stop to buy various supplies for the evening, drinks and nabs, as we call them here in the South, little packs of crackers and things like that. And there's also the U is a landmark that comes up in a lot of my books, and it's the local university, which is obviously based on UNC Chapel Hill. One of my characters, Wes, was based on a metal artist here in Carborough, actually, named Mike Roig. And I used to drive by his sculptures all the time on my way into town. And also there's a radio station in Carborough, a community radio station that I used to drive by every day on my way to work. When I started to think about Owen's show and Just Listen, I figured this would be exactly the sort of place where Owen Armstrong would have a radio show. My latest book is called Lock and Key, and it's about a girl named Ruby who has been living with her mom in a very sort of vagabond lifestyle, moving from apartment to apartment, running from landlords and creditors. As the book begins, they're living in a farmhouse out in the country, and her mom has disappeared. Her landlords end up finding out that she's living by herself. So she's sent to live with her sister Cora, who she hasn't seen for about 10 years. Cora has since married a man who has money and a very successful business, and they live in a gated community. So the book is about the transition that she makes from the life she was living with her mom to this brand new life in a big house and a private school and everything you would think that she would want, and how hard it is to actually have those things and to leave her old life behind. Lock and Key actually came from this old farmhouse that my husband and I lived in when I was right out of college. I wrote actually my first book there, and it was this rundown little farmhouse that I loved, but we moved out of it and moved across town to this brand new house, and then a few years later I went back to just see it, and it was gone. It had been razed. The whole place was gone, and they're building a big fancy gated community there now, and all you can see is this huge fence. That's it. You can't see anything. They took down all the trees, everything. And I just remember pulling over to the side of the road and just being shell-shocked, and that was what gave me the idea, is the transition from one to the other and how jarring that was, just to see it happen and imagine if you sort of were living that life. So that was where the idea for Lock and Key came from.